wonderful. A round of applause, please. We've connected with you. You have no idea how happy I am to both see and hear you. And welcome to our meeting. And without further ado, can I just give you the floor? You know what we're doing here. We're looking at the last horrible 12 months for your country, how we are supporting by way of sanctions, and therefore I open your microphone to make your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Your Excellencies, Commissioner McGuinness, Ambassador O'Sullivan, distinguished participants of the forum. When some madman sets your neighbor's house on fire, you usually have two tasks: to extinguish the fire and to take away the canister and matches from the intruder. And these are not the options that you can choose between. If you don't catch the arsonist there, you will try again. If you don't put out the fire now, it may damage your property. So both things should be done synchronously with no time wasting. Obviously, the madman is Russia. And our common task is to deprive it of the opportunity to set fire and at the same time extinguish the flames of the Russians' war against Ukraine. The latter is well handled by the fire team of Ramstein. It helped us defeat the aggressor. Regarding the first, we joint policy of economic pressure on Russia is also fruitful. Sanctions are an effective tool in fighting the aggressor. They exhaust Russian resources, need to wage the war, and reduce its military power. However, it's happen if fire conditions are met. First, synchronism. Sanctions should be implemented by all the coalition of democracies members. Systematically, sanctions pressure should be applied to all pain points of Russian terrorist regime, and this pressure should methodically increase. Determination on emission of delays are acceptable. Flexibility. Sanctions should be promptly modified, preferably in real time. And the last, 5, creativity. They must be one step ahead of the aggressors, both of development and implementation of the sanction. We should impose the rules of the games on Russia. Without this, ending the war is hardly possible ever soon. We thank our partners for the job they have been doing on the sanctioning track over the past year. We are very grateful to the European community for being able to find consensus in making difficult and sometimes painful decisions timely. We are very grateful to our allies outside Europe. I say this to the representatives to the United States, the United Kingdom, and Japan present here. We really appreciate your unwavering commitment to support Ukraine. These joint efforts made it possible to reduce the volume of the export-import transactions with the Russian Federation by almost half. Pressure on the banking sector and military industry has an usable effect. I would like to highlight the initiative related to the isolation of the Russian propagandists who spread Kremlin narratives around the world. At the same time, I have to emphasize there is still a lot of work ahead. The potential of the sanction policy is far from being complete, and unfortunately, the restrictive mechanisms are still not perfect. On top of it, Russia is actively working to avoid isolation. The terrorist states is reorienting its producers to new sales markets. It changed supply chains. It's engaged the third countries, its intermediaries to ensure trade transactions. It uses mineral smuggling, and it does it quite successfully. Unlike the democratic coalition that does not always have time to react properly. And an international expert group, co-chaired by Ambassador Mike Fall and myself, is working on the new formats for the monitoring sanctions compliance. We are ready to continue undertaking private and public communication with the countries that help Russia. However, this package obviously should not be lost. In particular, Rosatom should be stripped of its immunity. Being directly involved in acts of aggression and blackmail, participating in sanctions dodging. This company violated the fundamental principles of nuclear energy, security above all. We have to close the issue with the Russian bloody diamonds. It is a source of funding for the Russian war machine. We just need to deal with the Russian propagandists. They are the terrorist regime soldiers, complicit in all its crimes, including the main crime of aggression. Thank you for all presence, for your participations. Our cooperation not only brings us closely to the victory of Ukraine and enter civilized world, by depriving the aggressor of funds and means of war, it saves lives. I would like to take this opportunity to make a small announcement. A Sanctions Forum will be held in Kyiv. Within the framework of this event, we will continue to improve the restrictive mechanism against the terrorist states, which challenged the entire world community. So I am invited you to join this work. Thank you very much again for your intention and cooperation. Glory to Ukraine.